Shalom Israel. Before I start, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Bahar, Rakar, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel who rule and teach all, to the Akims and the Iwas and Byways and those pushing videos in truth and sincerity, to the brothers and sisters in the truth. And this is John chapter 8 verse 32. It says, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Now the reason why I read that, or started off with that verse, because you got this brother here, Nick Cannon, who got fired from his job for making a comment. The thing is, the comment that he made is true, but because people want to push a lie, yeah, they don't want others to know who they are. Like, mainly us. We're the ones who's being kept in the dark as to who we are as a people, especially when it comes to who we are as a people in the Bible. So I'm going to read this brother's comment, read this article I should say, and it will cover the comment that he made. And we're going to go through some things and to see if he was lying. So once again, this is John chapter 8 verse 32. It says, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Because when it comes to speaking truth in this society, especially when it comes to the Bible and who certain people are in the Bible, that's one of the biggest lies that's being pushed. So it says, Nick Cannon, US TV host fired by MTV owner in anti-Semitism row. Now, this word itself is a misnomer, yeah, anti-Semitism, because that's like me as a man of, as they say, a so-called black man, saying that I'm anti-black. How can I be anti-black and I'm meant to be a so-called black man? And this term anti-Semitism is also a misused term, because those who call themselves Shemites, yeah, they don't tell the truth. They have you to believe that they're the only Shemites upon the face of the earth. When, if you read the Torah, you find out that Moabites are Shemites. Yeah, they don't tell you who those people are today. You got Ammonites are Shemites. You got Israelites who are Shemites. You got Edomites who are Shemites. You got Elamites who are Shemites. You got Ishmaelites who are Shemites. That's at least 6 different nations of people I've quoted who, when you read the Bible, these people are Shemites. So when you say anti-Semitism, as if you're the only Shemite on the face of the planet, that's a misnomer. And these people have been pushing that term to stop people from telling the truth. As you speak any form of a truth, they try to shut you down with the term anti-Semitism. So now, this is what the article reads. It says, Nick Cannon has been fired from his MTV show Wild and Out and other work for the channel's parent company, which said he had promoted anti-Semitic comments. Yeah. Now, it says Viacom CBS said a recent episode of his podcast Cannon's Class promoted hateful speech and spread anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Now we're going to see if it's actually conspiracy theories that this brother was telling, or if it's the truth. In response, he said he does not condone hate speech and it out at an oppressive and racist infrastructure. And we know when it comes to the media, it is a racist infrastructure, because as a person of colour, as they call us, if you don't toe the line, they'll shut you down from everything. It's like the American football player, the one who took the knee, I forgot his name, Slakia. Yeah, because he took the knee, trying to point out issues that people of colour faced, racism that we faced. Now all of a sudden his career's down the drain. So this society does not love the truth. It says, the star also presents The Masked Singer, which is made by Fox. He created Wild and Out, an improv series that has had 15 series, but which will now come to an end. It goes on to say, he has also hosted a string of shows for the Viacom CBS owned Nickelodeon channel over more than 20 years, and was named chairman of spin-off Teen Nick in 2009. So this is the brother here. Now it says, in a statement, the company said Viacom CBS condemns bigotry of any kind, and we categorically denounce all form of anti-Semitism. So, and this is what people don't make clear. What is anti-Semitism? Hold on, let me quickly do something. Give me a second, Israel. Let's see what this brings up. Anti-Semitism. Let's see what it says here. Anti-Semitism, also spelled anti-Semitism, blah blah blah, is hostility to, prejudice, or discrimination against Jews. A person who holds such position is called an anti-Semite. Anti-Semitism is generally considered to be a form of racism. Anti-Semitism may be manifested in many ways, ranging from expression of hatred of or discrimination against individual Jews to organized pogroms by mobs, state police, or even military attacks on entire Jewish communities. Although the term did not come into common usage until the 19th century, it is also applied to previous and later anti-Jewish incidents. Notable instances of persecution include the Rhineland massacres preceding the First Crusade. Now, this is the term that they made up for anti-Semitism. But to be anti something means that you're against. To be a Semite means that you descend from one of Noah's sons, Shem. And like I mentioned before, I mentioned at least 6 nations that descend from Shem. You've got the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Elamites, the Ishmaelites, the Israelites, and the Edomites. Yeah, that's 6 nations at least that descends from Shem. So these people would be known as Shemites. So if you're anti-Semitic, that means you're against those 6 groups of people. And we ourselves, we are Shemites. Those who they call Negroes, those who are descendants of the slave trade, the Latinos, Native American Indians, we are Shemites. Yeah, so this is a made-up term that the Jewish people made so that you can't say anything against them. Now it says, it added, while we support ongoing education and dialogue in the fight against bigotry, we are deeply troubled that Nick has failed to acknowledge or apologize for perpetrating anti-Semitism, and we are terminating our relationship with him. Now, the things that has been done against our people as a race of people, that can be deemed anti-Semitism. Yeah, but they don't want to acknowledge that we are actual Shemites, because then you'd have to think, well, if they're Shemites, are there other Shemites? You know, truth is something which is hated in this kingdom because it's been built upon a lie. It says in the 30 June episode of Cannon's Class, the presenter interviewed former Public Enemy rapper Professor Griff, who left the group in 1989 after saying Jews were wicked. It says Professor Griff claimed to Cannon that he was talking about Jews controlling the media and said, I'm hated now because I told the truth. And as the scripture says, have I become your enemy because I now tell the truth? And this is what happens when you tell the truth, especially about who the Jews of the Bible are, which we're going to look at some things in the Bible to see who they actually fit, to see who's actually telling the truth and who's telling the lie. We find out that this society does not love the truth. It says, I'm hated now because I told the truth, Cannon added. You're speaking facts. The presenter called Professor Griff a legend. He also said the Semitic people are black people and that you can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people, which is true. Yeah, we are a Semitic people, so how are we anti-Semitic? So let's look at this. One of the things they try to keep quiet on, and this is by their own sites. It says My Jewish Learning. That's what this site is from. It says where the false claim that Jews control the slave trade comes from. So what they try to do now is distance themselves from the slave trade. Even though this lets you know that they had slaves, they like to make out like they had no real part in the slave trade. I'm just going to read a little bit of this article here. It says the role some Jews played in the Atlantic slave trade, both as traders and as slave owners, has long been acknowledged by historians, but then they don't want to mention their part in the slave trade. Yeah, so isn't this being anti-Semitic? Because like I said, we are a Semitic people. So if the so-called Jewish people, yeah, had a part in the slave trade, ain't that anti-Semitic? But allegations in recent decades that Jews played a disproportionate role in the enslavement of African Americans and that this fact has been covered up have made the topic a controversial one. So the fact that they're trying to say that they didn't play a large part in the slave trade, yeah, they played a part in the slave trade. And I want to look up this word here as well, yeah, because you hear about the Holocaust, yeah, genocide, and that is deemed a genocide. But let's see what this word actually means, genocide, and let's see who actually had genocidal acts committed against them. It says genocide is the intentional action to destroy a people. Now, when you look at what happened in the slave trade, that was upon a whole race of people. That was genocide. But what we have gone through is not deemed a Holocaust or a genocide. Yeah, but yet still 6 million people being killed is deemed a Holocaust. But what happened to our people is not deemed a Holocaust. It says genocide is the intentional action to destroy a people, usually defined as an ethnic, national, racial, or religious group, in whole or in part, a term coined by Raphael Lemkin in his 1944 book Axis Rule in Occupied Europe. The hybrid word genocide is a combination of the Greek word genos, race, people, and the Latin suffix "cado," act of killing. It says the United Nations Genocide Convention, which was established in 1948, defines genocide as acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group, as such including the killings of its members, causing seriously bodily or mental harm to members of the group, deliberately imposing living conditions that seek to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, preventing births or forcibly transferring children out of the group to another group. Now, what happened to our... This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Now, this is... Let me read verse 15. This is Moses going into speaking to the children of Israel, and they're going into a covenant with the children of Israel. Before I read that, let me read this. This is Daniel chapter 9 and 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he has confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the old heaven has not been done as had been done upon Jerusalem. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us, yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. So Daniel is letting you know that the curse that's written in the law of Moses is poured upon the Israelites. And it says that what's been done unto them, yeah, there's no other people under heaven that's gone through that thing. So let's go back to this term here. It says, they're speaking about genocide. It says, imposing living conditions that seek to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part, preventing births or forcibly transferring children out of the group to another group. Now look at this. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I commanded this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. That as we read in Daniel, the curses are upon the Israelites. In verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they, the curses, shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So let's see who are actually going through these curses. Now, as we just read, yeah, or forcibly transferring children out of the group to another group. Now, what people did that happen to? Yeah, this is a curse. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. Now, what nation of people upon the earth did that happen to? That didn't happen to who we know as the Jewish people, the Arab people, the Chinese people. That happened to our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, so-called. That happened to us, putting us in the category of genocidal acts being taken upon us. Let's go again. Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Now, when you go into that word for lie, yeah, in the Hebrew, is that the one? Oh, let me slack here. 1 sec. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. See now, the Strong's in this, it says to lie down, lie on. And really, that Strong's here, that should be here. This Strong's should be shakal. I mean, shagal. Yeah, not shakab. It should be shagal. Yeah, which means to violate or ravish. But it does give you some of the understanding here. To be lain with sexually. To be lain with sexually, to make lie down. Yeah, but it should be shagal, not shakal. Yeah. Let me see if I can bring it up. Give me 1 second. 1 second, Israel. Let me see if I can bring up another Strong's. Yeah. But whilst I'm waiting for this to load up, I want to come back. Deuteronomy 28 and 30 says, Thou shalt betroth a wife. Let's bring that up in the New English translation. And let's see what it says in the New English translation. Deuteronomy 28 and 30. You will be engaged to a woman, and another man shall rape her. Yeah, that's what it says in the New English. Now, there's no history that I know of in the Jewish history or all these other nations' history where their women as a nation, because these curses are upon a nation of people, where their women were raped as a nation of people. So when Nick was saying that we are Shemites, that is true. Give me a second, Israel. Let me just try and find something. 1 sec. I'll bring it over to that screen. Just want to check the Strong's on this, see if it brings up what should be there. Come on. Slack here 1 second, Israel. See, these Strong's is terrible. Yeah, but the word that should be there should be shagal, not shakal. Yeah. Let me bring it up on my phone and give you the spelling. Salakia. And this is what they do as well, you know. They try and switch things around because they don't want people to know the truth. But the scripture says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Now when I go on my phone, Deuteronomy 28 and 30, I'm going to try and show you on my phone actually. Alright, so that's the verse. Yeah. I'm going to go for it on the Strong's. Yeah. So when I go for it on the Strong's now, it's H7693. That's what should be there. 87693. Yeah, on my phone, when you go to Deuteronomy 28 and 30, and the word for lie, it's shagal, means to violate or ravish. Yeah, not shakal. Yeah. It says thou shalt, but the NET gave you a better understanding of what it actually means. It says thou shalt betroth a wife, you be engaged to a wife, and another man shall lie with her, meaning another man shall rape her. What nation of people did that happen to? Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. So when we go through these curses, so on and so forth, these fit our nation of people. It does not fit those who are calling themselves Jewish today. This is why they fired this brother for speaking the truth. Yeah? He says you can't be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people. Now, we're not the only Semitic people. Like I said, there's I named at least 6 nations out of the scriptures that are Semitic people. Yeah? Now this is John chapter 8 verse 44. It says, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, going back to Cain, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. And this is why this brother got sacked, because the truth is not loved. You speak too much truth, and this is why a lot of stars, people in big positions, don't speak the truth, because when they speak the truth, things like this happen to them. They're blackballed, they lose their jobs, their positions, everything goes with it. So it says he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there's no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So, like I started off, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. We are Shemitic people. We're not the only Shemitic people, but we are Shemitic. And this is a truth that's not been told. Yeah, anyone who reads the Bible knows that the so-called Jewish people are not the only Semitic people on the planet. The Ishmaelites, the Arabs, they are Shemitic people. Yeah, us, Negroes, Latino, Native American Indians, we are Semitic people. And according to the prophecies in Deuteronomy chapter 28, that would befall the Israelites for breaking the commandments. When you go to Daniel chapter 9 and 11, it lets you know that all Israel have sinned and they're under the curses. When you read the curses, those curses would be upon the Israelites and upon their seed forever, meaning till Christ comes back. Now let's read one of these curses, another one of these curses. Verse 43, the stranger, the other nation that is within thee, shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Now, those that we know as Jewish today, they're not in a lower state. Yeah? They're in a land which they are calling their own. Yeah? Yet still, when you read the prophecies, the Israelites will be scattered amongst all nations. They'll be kicked out the land. It tells you that throughout the Old Testament. You can read that they'll be kicked out the land. And when the Mosai sends his son back, we'll be gathered from where we're scattered and brought back into the land. Yeah? So, the truth is something which is not treasured in this day and age. This is why when we speak what we speak, we are hated because we speak the truth. But truth will prevail at the end of the day. Yeah? So, with that, I'm going to close out. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Wahar Rakar Kadash, Kwam Yasha Allah.